What up, what up, what up? Happy Wednesday, y'all. We already halfway through the week. I'm sure by the time this video uploads, it'll be Thursday. So just giving y'all week 5 preview analysis. Um, Thursday night football starting tomorrow. We got the Rams and the 49ers. They come into LA. San Fran is coming to LA. And the crazy thing is that there are more San Francisco's fans than Los Angeles Rams fans here. Everybody like cheers for other teams here. It's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna say everybody, but the Rams got a good fan base. But man, it's just you'll definitely see more 49ers jerseys. So, um, all right, let's get right to it. So on paper, this looks evenly matched. Um, San Fran is missing multiple starters, um, but so far, their points scored hasn't been that great. Their defense has been good. Bosa's out, of course. Their passing rank is up there. I mean, it kind of stayed the same with Jones and or Purdy in there. So they do got to get their rushing up, but I think McCaffrey is getting back in the groove. Um, and then you got the Rams. You know, they've been a consistent team throughout the years. Uh, Hold on a second. Um, Yeah, so 10th in points allowed, 13th in points scored, third passing rank. Much attributed that to Matthew Stafford, and Sean McVay. These guys are a really good duo. They've been doing good for a long time, including one Super Bowl win. I expect them to be, you know, and one of the top tier teams in the NFC when this is all said and done. They might not be able to compete for a championship because they have to get through Detroit and Philly, but they'll definitely be in the mix. It'll be interesting to see how. Um, San Fran handles, all the injuries. Um, but I'm gonna have to go with the Rams on this one. All right. Who do you guys think's gonna win that one? Um, Surprisingly, San Fran is still 3-1 though. They're doing a lot better than I thought they would with all their injuries, but I don't think they'll sustain themselves against the Rams. So, let's see who do we have now. We got New England versus Buffalo. Um, New England and Drake May are finding their stride. Still early, but they came up to 2-2. 10th in points scored, 10th in points allowed, 7th passing rank, 25th rushing rank. Um, but you have, but the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, I'm going to pick them in this one. Uh, Second in points scored, first in rushing, passing, sixth. Points allowed. It's gotten better. Um, I wonder if May is going to to be able to score against this defense because I still think Buffalo's defense isn't that great. It seems like it's always going to be the uh, the Achilles heel. But the Patriots they have flashes, but will they be able to be consistent? Um, it'll be uh, it'll be interesting to see. I know May might get a couple touchdowns in. He's definitely coming along, but at the end of the day, it's the Bills. A lot of people are favoring them to win the AFC. Um, Let me see. Yeah, a lot of people are expecting them to win the AFC, so I think this will be a decent game. The Patriots might put up, 14, 21 points, and the Bills will just run it up. So I'm gonna have to go with the Bills on that one. Okay. So now we got, let's see, still getting used to the Stream Deck, but No mistakes this time. Um, every time I see these teams on here, I don't think much of it. Um, Obviously, prayers for Tyreek Hill, Tua 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 Gailuva is not playing well. He's not playing consistent. Um, and same goes with Bryce Young and the Panthers. I think I'm gonna have to give this edge to the Dolphins. But at the end of the day, both these teams, I don't see them going to the playoffs at all. But whoever loses this one definitely isn't going to the playoffs. And I know it's early to say, but um, yeah, they're in rebuild mode. And again, the the Titans, I mean, I'm sorry, the Panthers and the Dolphins, they got to make some serious personnel decisions. Um, just not a good look for either team, especially now when the Dolphins with Hill out. Um, you know, Tua has Waddle still. They can put some points up on the board, but this is going to be this looks like to be it'll be entertaining because they're kind of evenly matched, but um, I don't see either one of them going to the playoffs. Okay. All right. So now we got the Lions. Um, Another blowout in my opinion. Uh, I know the Bengals are 2-2. Jake Browning's okay, but their defense has always been bad, and it was always Joe Burrow willing them to victory. Now that they don't even have that, it's just going to be a long season for them. Um, and I just expect Detroit to steamroll through them. First in points scored, 10th in passing rank, sixth in rushing rank, turnover differential +4, so they can definitely take the ball away from you. And it looks like the Bengals turn it over a lot. So, uh, not much to see here. Easy win for the Lions. Maybe they might even get a shutout. I know Dan Campbell. He can definitely have his defense, going to work. But it's going to be a long year for the Bengals, and the Lions are a team that they do not want to face. So that'll be an easy win for Detroit. But it's any given Sunday. I got to remember to always say that. So, but I'm gonna have to go with the Lions on that. Okay. All right. The top news of the week, in my opinion, you got the Browns versus the Vikings. Um, the Vikings are just a better overall team. I mean, look at Cleveland, -6 in the takeaway differentials, 30th in rushing, 20th in passing, which I mean, that's not good, but uh, you know, I thought they would be like 28th or something. But Flacco, he did what he can. 24th in points allowed. Um, just bad overall. So obviously, I'm gonna have to go with the Vikes on this one. Um, but the crazy part is they are starting Gabriel. They're gonna start Dylan Gabriel now. They're benching Joe Flacco. And the even crazier story of I'm sure you guys heard is that they're keeping Shadur at number 3. It kind of makes sense because they're throwing Dylan to the Wolves, and if he plays super bad early, they don't want to just throw another rookie in there. Um, so they need Flacco as some sort of security. But Flacco, he can we know he's a good quarterback. We know what we get, but he has those moments where he just has a high propensity for turnovers. Even 2 years ago when he took them to the playoffs, he threw like 4 picks in the playoff game, something like that, something crazy. So they already know what they're getting with him. He's a veteran. His time is definitely coming to an end, at least in Cleveland. But the way they're handling the Shadur situation, as I'm sure you guys hear with all the media outlets, I don't think is cool. I think they should at least bump him up to number 2, because what do you have to lose? You guys think you're going to the playoffs? You're already 1-3. You're the bottom half in everything. Dylan is not going to give you guys a spark. I don't even think Dylan is really a good NFL, a top tier NFL not top tier, but like I don't think he's going to really be a franchise quarterback. Just such an odd way of how they're handling it. And yes, I do believe Shadur could have been. He was projected first overall, but to be realistic, this was a weak class, and you see how bad Cam Ward is doing. So, um, just not a strong quarterback draft class, but still the handling of the situation by the Browns. The Browns will be the Browns. Um, they're literally just wasting everybody's time. I don't understand like how an organization can be this dysfunctional for so long. But Stefanski's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. But you still wonder with Shadur being three, is it really just about football? Are you guys really trying to win games? Is Shadur really that bad? These are a lot of questions to ask, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure Dylan's going to tank. Shadur might start probably like in week 8 or 9, in my opinion. So that's going to be an interesting storyline. Maybe not an entertaining game, but it'll be interesting to see because you all know who everybody wants to see. So um, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Who do we got next? Okay, we got the Raiders versus the Colts. You know, um, the Pete Carroll and Geno Smith combination doesn't seem to be panning out. Their defense isn't that great. I mean, the numbers kind of don't really tell the whole story. I mean, their defense is okay, but I don't think they're going to do well against the Colts, especially after the Colts coming after their first loss. Um, but this is where we'll really see the Daniel Jones, right? Because so far they're fourth in scoring, 12th in points allowed, fourth in passing, eighth in rushing. Um, it'll be interesting to see now that they got their first loss if Daniel Jones can really be consistent the rest of the season. It's I think he's going to do good, but are they going to be a top AFC contender? I don't think so. I know it's still early to say that, but I expect the Raiders to give Daniel Jones a little bit of heat. And then this is going to be a real testament to see if he's turned a new leaf and actually improved as a quarterback. Because we can't forget how he got thrown away in New York. But that's a whole different story with New York. They're not a good organization either so far. But back to the Colts. Um, this second quarter of the season will be a true test to Daniel Jones if he can really take the Colts to the next level. So far, they're looking good, but they did have that loss last week. But so far, they're looking good, and I think they will beat the Raiders. But it's any given Sunday, and it's not that much of a mismatch. It's just that Geno just has a ton of turnovers. So 2 weeks this season, he's thrown 3 interceptions. So if he does that this game, obviously that'll be an easy win for the Colts. So we'll see. All right. We got Tennessee versus the Cardinals. Um, I mean, look at the Titans. 32nd points scored, 28th points allowed, 32nd passing rank, dead last. So that's dead last. Um, 29th rushing rank. This is what I'm saying. Like as far as this quarterback class being weak, Cam Ward was the number one overall pick. They made him their franchise guy, and literally they're dead last in points scored and passing. Now, there's probably a lot of protection issues. There's probably a lot of like just getting used to it. He is a rookie, but this is terrible. You think they could get their first win against the Cardinals? The Cardinals are doing what they do every year. They'll get some wins here and there. Kyler Murray will show flashes of greatness, but you know, maybe this will be a good game because Tennessee is really really bad, and the Cardinals could probably, go to 3-2, and have a good week. Because I don't know what to make of Tennessee. They're just completely horrible right now, and I don't see them turning it around. I hope they don't lose all of their games, but I'd be surprised if they win more than 3 or 4 games. So I'm gonna have to give this one to the Cardinals. All right, and the Giants and the Saints, two other bottom half teams. The Saints, they're okay in rushing, but for the Giants, they don't the numbers don't tell the whole story. because this is pretty much their second game under the Dart era. So we'll see how he does. I think he should do well against the New Orleans Saints. They're 30th in the league in points allowed. So um, Dart should show out. But like I said last week, this is his year. This is his trial year. I don't see the Giants going anywhere. The Saints aren't going anywhere. But they do have a chip on their shoulder because they're on 4, so they could be really hungry for their first win against New York, against a rookie quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see. Probably have to give the slight edge to the Giants, but this is one of those worst 50-50. Okay. Now we got the Cowboys versus the Jets. The Cowboys, they really impressed me playing against Green Bay. They really showed they have a lot of fight, but they have no defense. But the 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 problem with that is Justin Fields. He'll get a couple plays in, but is he going to score enough to stop Dallas from scoring? Even without CeeDee Lamb, Dallas has been moving the ball well. They put up a lot of points against Green Bay, which was supposed to be one of the top tier defenses. They're fifth in points scored, but they are 31st in points allowed. So I expect Fields to run loose. First in passing, second in passing, first in rushing. This might be a shootout, but not because the Jets have a good offense, but because Dallas's defense is that bad. Let me see. So, did not mean to put that back up. So, that will be one of the more entertaining games to watch, and I'll have to give the slight edge to Dallas. Even though they have no defense, they still got a high-powered offense that's been able to manage, even though they lost some starters. But their defense is really, really hurting. I don't think it's because of Micah. I think that's why Jerry Jones let go of Micah, because their defense was bad anyway. So why is he going to waste all his money on one linebacker when their defense they haven't stopped the run for the past 2 years? So, but with that said, I still think the Dallas, they got this one. Um, okay. All right. So we got the Broncos versus the Eagles. Um, Denver has a little bit of momentum. Um, their defense is good, second in points allowed. Their offense is in the middle of the pack, 16th in points scored, 16th in passing, fifth in rushing. And then when you look at the Eagles, for the most part, they look middle of the pack too. 15th in points allowed, 16th rushing rank, 31st passing rank. But look at how high they are in points scored. And they're undefeated. They don't win pretty, but they find a way to get it done. Both of them have to deal with injuries, but with that said, I think the Eagles got this. Bo Nix is definitely gonna do his thing. Him and Sean Payton, they're working it out. They're that's a good offense. But at the end of the day, it's the Eagles. They always come up big. They don't have to dazzle you with points, but their defense makes enough plays, and Jalen Hurts will make the throws he need. Even though there are a lot of people saying A.J. Brown needs to leave, he's not going to leave if they're winning, But at the end of the day, their offense is not known for sparks. I mean, they can put up points if they have to, but at the end of the day, they control the game with their front defense. It's been this way since the Super Bowl. They control the game with their front linemen and in the trenches, and then everything goes from there. So I got the Eagles in this one, but again, any given Sunday, the Broncos are definitely a worthy opponent. This will be one of the most competitive games this week, in my opinion. So definitely looking forward to seeing that one. Okay. So we got the Ravens. Still haven't got word on if Lamar's coming back this week. I'm pretty sure he's not, and they're going to put in Rush. Um, so these numbers really don't matter. Third in points scored, 32nd in points allowed. That definitely matters because they lose in pretty much their whole defense. I think they lost like 6 starters. And one guy is out for the whole year with the neck injury. Um, and then you got the passing rank, not that great. Rushing rank, they got Derrick Henry. Maybe they can bump that up a little bit because well, what are they going to do with rush? They still got D Hop, they still got some good receivers on the outside. Uh, but what are they going to do with rush? They better just give it to Derrick Henry and let him take control of the game. I know he's a little upset that he fumbled. He hasn't really, you know, it's a pattern, but I'm sure they're shaking it off this year. So, and I apologize. That was his name, Namdi Matabuki. He's out for the year with his neck. So, um, but yeah, the Ravens are in a whole lot of trouble. They need to win some games before Lamar comes back. But if they lose this one, you can count them out. I mean, with all the injuries they have, you can blame it on injuries, but I still think Harbaugh will be on the hot seat. Um, but they're just they're just really going backwards, and it's crazy because the beginning of the year they were the Super Bowl pick. Um, they were the pick to win the Super Bowl. They're always the pick to win the Super Bowl every year, but ever since these injuries happened, and they lost 3 games, it's gonna be a long year for the Ravens. Unless Lamar can bounce back, and but at the end of the day, their defense is going to be their biggest question mark. So I think Harbaugh's going to be on the hot seat if their defense doesn't step up or if they don't do anything this year. Even with the injuries, they can make an excuse, but he would definitely be on the hot seat because their defense is 31st in the league in points allowed. That is a no-no. So they got to figure it out. And even with the starters they had last year, their defense wasn't that great. They kind of came together towards the end of the year, but the Ravens are in a lot of trouble. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Texans game. It could be a close matchup because the Texans are reeling too. CJ Stroud is definitely still trying to find his rhythm. They got a lot of stuff they need to work out too. So it's two teams that really need to turn their season around. I definitely see some desperation, but as far as the Ravens go, they pretty much have all backups. So I might give a slight edge to Houston unless the Ravens just pound it with Derrick Henry, you know, and maybe they could they could do something. But yeah, this will be a close game just because of all the problems they got going on. Okay. Good news for the Commanders. Um, we appreciate you, Mariota, but now Jaden Daniel has been ruled eligible to play. He is back from injury. He's cleared for practice, so they're going to start him this weekend against the Chargers. They actually come to LA, and I was thinking about going to the game, but we'll see. The parking in SoFi is just ridiculous. So, and plus, I was also waiting to see if they were going to play Daniels or not. But now that it's confirmed, it should be an interesting game. Chargers are reeling from their loss against the Giants. Still a top team. You just got to worry how Herbert would do with pressure. And I know Dan Quinn is going to come with a lot of pressure. And can we rely on Jaden Daniels to pull out the heroics on the Chargers? Because keep in mind, even though the Chargers lost to the Giants, they're still a heavily favored AFC team. So they're well-rounded on paper. We just don't know how they perform when situations get critical. And with Jaden Daniels back in the lineup, he can definitely make the situation critical. I don't see a sophomore slump. He just got hurt a little bit, and we'll see what happens. But this will be a great game to watch. And I don't care what the numbers say. I'm going for the Commanders. So, all right. All right. So now we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see. Tampa versus Seahawks. I know Tampa's coming from their loss with against the Eagles. They're a well-rounded team. The Seahawks are a well-rounded team. I still am skeptical of Darnold, but week to week he's stepping up and they're doing what they got to do. Mayfield is definitely a competitor. So, I mean, this is an evenly matched team. This will be a good game to watch. I would have to give the slight edge to um, to Tampa Bay just because I think they're a better overall team. But Seattle's a good, they're pretty much neck and neck. But I'm gonna have to give this one to Tampa Bay. That'll be an interesting game to watch. This will be very competitive. So definitely, I'm gonna tune into that. Thank you, NFL Sunday Ticket. All right. And last but not least, we got the Chiefs and the Jaguars. Um, on paper, the Jaguars look good, but I still think they got a lot of stuff to deal with. And I think the Chiefs are going to build on their momentum from their last win. I'm going to have to give this one to the Chiefs. Um, they got, what's his name? They got their receiver Worthy back. And they have Mahomes, he threw for 4 touchdown passes last week, so he's back going through the air. He was their leading rusher. So, and Spagnuolo's defense, I feel like he's going to give Trevor Lawrence a fit. I just don't see the Jaguars winning this game. But it should be competitive because the Jaguars are definitely up there with the takeaways. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one to the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be their game where they start to really build on their momentum from last game, and I feel like they can slowly move back into the AFC title race because I think the Ravens are going to bow out. The Bengals are out, obviously, but this will be a good time for um, for the Chiefs to really sharpen their skills. Because I know Jacksonville's 3-1, but they still have a lot of work to do, a lot of building to do. They don't know what they want to do with Travis Hunter, and I don't think that they can handle Spagnuolo's defense. So there you have it. I think that's all the games. See y'all week 5. I hope y'all enjoy the game tomorrow. The Rams versus the 49ers. It's going to be a crazy game. There's going to be 49er jersey everywhere. So it is what it is. That's how LA is. This is Laker Town and Dodger Town. I think Dodgers are in the playoffs too. So um, y'all enjoy week 5. I'll see you guys in the morning, maybe either tomorrow or Friday. All right.